call me up. You know you can call me up, baby. You know you can call me up. Anytime things get rough, you know you can call me up.
Yo, if you fucking with sports, culture, and hip hop, make sure you connect the dots with Big Lou Ice Water. You are ready.
I'm your host, Lou Icewater, aka Duquan Hicks, and I have a special guest, my man from the Bronx, way of B more as well. The man, the legend, Cortez. What's good, my dude?
What's poppin', ice water? What's good? What's good? What's everybody out there?
Yes,
Let's do it. Shout
another
out Charleston.
episode. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Split personality. This is what we do, and we do this once a month. So if you want to chime in, America, you could chime in because I'm looking at whatever y'all say. If you got questions, yo, we can answer it the best way we can. So let's do this, my man. Yo, so why do children bypass their fathers to ask their mothers for questions? You know what I'm saying? Why do they always? I mean, it's like, is it? I'm gonna chime in first, and I'm gonna let you go. Is it
Okay.
because they're intimidated by what the father might say, or is it because the mother is more likely to say yes? I mean, you
Mhm.
can answer that the best way you can, but I notice kids will always bypass their father to ask their mother for something. Go ahead, my dude.
Yo, you the structure. They
Mm.
already know you're gonna say no. So they gonna go to mama to see if mama can soften you up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So they can come back and be like, okay, well, mama said that's why I did it. You know what I mean? Then when they
Hmm.
get in trouble, because you already probably told them no, you know what I'm saying? They come back like, well, mama said, then you and go, you and mom in an argument over something the
Mm.
child said when it should have been an understanding. Where mama should have said, hey, look, did you ask your father? And your pop should have said, did you ask your mother? You see
Mm.
what I'm saying? What did she say? What did he say? Easy fix for adults, right? But
Right.
that's what kids gonna do, man. They gonna play the field no more than you did. Whatever,
Mm.
which one's gonna benefit us. You can go to the father if it's something that you want. You know he might be favorite to it. You gonna go that way. Mom do same way. We all did it. We all did it.
Mm. I really think, with kids, it's like it depends on how the father's looking that day. You know what I mean? Because
Okay.
sometimes we have that intimidating face where
Okay.
he's like, I ain't gonna ask dad nothing. Nah, look, he looked like he in a bad mood. Mom
Yeah.
could be in a bad mood, but mom is caring and nurturing. Even though
Hmm.
you might have done her wrong, she'll still be like, come here, baby. Come here, baby. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Where the dad be like, look, we want to know what, why, the purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
We want to know
oh
everything.
yeah.
We're like the
Oh
police.
yeah.
And
Oh
I think
yeah.
that's why a lot of, kids veer to their mom than the pops. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 but there has to be that structure. You there to
Right.
what? Protect and teach that child the right way and format to go. So of
Mm,
course they're gonna lean to that softer side with what they think is the softer side until they cross mom. See, that's when it gets
mm.
sticky and nobody never talks about that. Because mom get in her ass too now.
That's
Don't get it
true.
twisted. Don't get it, never get it twisted. You know what I
Mm,
mean? So when I look at it, it's more of the family balance of things. You know what I
right.
mean?
Right.
You being the man and the head of the household, you should have the last say. So per se nowadays, you know how that go because there's a lot of separation out there. But in that structure, it keeps balance within the family.
Mm,
She's gonna come and say, "Hey, well, do you think Deshaun could go do this? Whatever, what you think about it?" Those things are never discussed behind closed doors between the mother and the father.
mm,
Nowadays, it's more I told him he can do this. No, I told him he couldn't do this. So, you get that back and forth. But if there's communication, it'll be all right. Because you already know they're gonna play that role of okay, let me play mom against dad so I can ease out of it, even if I already got that no as an answer. That's how
right.
I see that. You know what I
Wow.
mean?
So tell me, man, status or love? A lot of people want the
Mm.
status of a relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
People in it for the status, not the love. Like, for example, you got the car, you got the
Mm-hmm.
house, you're popular. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
People love the status. When they go out, they love the status of a couple. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
people are more in tune with the status than more in tune with the love. And I think that's why there's a lot of separation between men and women, because a lot of people gravitate to the status of a person. How do you feel about that, man?
Well, I look at it like this. When you say love, most people say love is emotion. I believe it's an action. You see
Mm,
what I'm saying? You choose to love what you want to love anytime you want to love it,
right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So your status is more of a performance, like
Mm,
anything else. Like a woman to put makeup on, go perform. Hey, to attract something like a dude to put whatever, like you said, his car, his clothes, his jewelry, anything. It's a performance. It's not who you really are. You see what I'm
mm,
saying? And most people are scared to be in their self comfort of who they are. So
mm,
when you out there and you want to judge this person, well, this status is high, but their brain frequency might be real low. You know what I mean?
right.
They might not can't what we say critical think back in
Mm,
the day. Critical thinking problems, you know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
So with that, I try to balance looking at the statuses. What's truly your status? How high does your status go? Or
Mm,
is it a street status? Or is it a status of social media? Is it where do your status lie? Even with those people that love you,
mm,
is your status high because when they come to you, you're there for them, or because you financially can help them out with their troubles or their burdens? So I can kind of look at that in multiple ways. It depends on the person and their mind frequency of where they're at and how they vibrating on that. You know what I
right.
mean? That's how I kick it with that.
Mm.
So to
I,
kind of put that in a perspective of, okay, me and you, we brothers, right?
right.
We
Mm-hmm.
go out. You more popular than me, right? But they'll be
Mm-hmm.
like, "Who's that new guy over there? Who that
Right.
is? Who's that right there? Ice water that you chilling and popping with? We ain't seen him before. New face, new ladies, just like for new cats, new chicks, new face. You know what I mean? So how do you determine the status then? Because you're unknown.
Mm,
You
right.
see what I'm saying? So is
Mm-hmm.
it the clique you with, the people you around? You know what I mean? Us, we prefer to deal with cats that's of our age, of our nature, going through the same things, trial and tribulations that grown men with families, than a youngin or a YN that we don't know out here. You really want
Right.
to what? Kick him some knowledge because you ain't got time. You see what I'm saying? So that status is all about where your frequency at when you vibing in life. That's why I look at it as, bro.
Mm. So tell me something. Hard truths. There's three kinds of people you need to tell hard truths to, or excuse me, three times
Okay.
of kinds of people that will tell you about yourself. Hard
Mm-hmm.
truths, and that's your family, your significant other, and your parents. Because if you're in a circle and they can't tell you the hard truths about you,
Mm-hmm.
then you know what I'm saying.
I
What do
ain't
we do
fucking with them.
here? Right,
I ain't
exactly.
fucking with them,
So
Blue.
how do you? Yes, I'm saying. So my thing is, how do you deal with that? Because my thing is, I have a circle, and my homeboys will tell me, look, you doing this wrong,
Mm-hmm.
Lou Ice. You doing that wrong. You doing that wrong, dude. Nah, you got to do it this way. A lot of people don't have
Mm-hmm.
that hard truth circle. You know what I'm saying? So how do
Right.
you have a hard truth circle, and how do you handle that when they come
Oh, of
at you,
course.
and are you negative and positive behind what they saying?
Well, I probably will have my rebuttal because I'm human, right?
Oh yeah, of
But I
course.
always try to take into consideration if I step away from that situation, I think about it, then I go back to 'em.
Right.
You know, because us as humans, we're gonna see things different ways.
Hmm.
Now, the mature you get, you start to understand. Well, look, let me take a step back and look at this thing and try to find an angle of what they were trying to tell me. You know what I mean? And like
Right.
you said, that's dependent on that relationship. Now, me listening to my mother is not the same as me taking a suggestion or something from my wife or my daughter or my kids or one of my brothers or even you, right?
Right.
So you want to try to balance that out with that relationship of, okay, I know this person may mean me well, but what level is it that it's going to benefit them as well? You know what I mean? It's going to benefit the mass majority of people. Then
Mm,
9 times out of 10, Cortez is with it. But if
right.
it's just going to benefit you or me in the long run and it's going to bring us a disconnect, then I ain't with it. But
Mm,
as far as having that support system, that's very strong, but it's very real. It's something that
that's right.
we all forget about. and it's the most powerful word I would say that's out there: loyalty. That
Yes.
loyalty and that bond is unbreakable. You know what I mean? That's even with death. You know what I mean? So when I look at it, if there ain't no loyalty in that circle nowhere around, they don't love you. And
That's
and,
right.
and they're not going to tell you about you. And then you may be the one that, hey, I gotta tell you about you, but I'm hesitant to tell you about you because I don't want the backlash. Because I already know how you are. I know what you're gonna do. I know what you're gonna say. So you in your mind, you got to go ahead and make up a scenario of, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this anyway because I
Right.
love you. You know, regardless of if you don't talk to me 5, 10, 15, 20 years from now. At the end
Mm.
of the day, you gonna say, yo, he stood 10 toes down and told me about my damn self. And you're gonna respect
Right.
that.
And
Simple.
that
But
that's what I like. That's what I like. See, I have, like I said, my circle, when I was going through certain situations, they was telling me stuff. I ain't want to hear it, but I'm glad they told me. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
Because that lets me know that they care. They have my best interests. And a lot of people
hmm
don't have people's best interests. A lot of people want to see you fall. They want to see you fail on your nose. Or they might be
hmm
jealous of you and you don't even know it. Even though they
hmm
your homeboy, they still could be
hmm
envy of how you move or how you do your things. But my clique is different. You know what I mean? They'll let me know, yo,
Right.
dude, this is wrong, yo, dude. You know,
Yep.
I gotta look at it like this too. I gotta look at it like that. So I'm glad that, you know what I'm saying, I got a circle with dudes who let me know and hold me accountable for what I
Oh
do.
yeah.
You know what I
That's the
mean?
word right there. That's the
Yes.
word. That accountability. The world is
Yes.
scared of that right now. The world
Yes,
is
they are.
scared of accountability. For
Mm,
some reason, they're scared of that. I don't know
mm,
why, but we need to get back to that.
mm.
It'll put more things in a beautiful state, I believe. If we can get back to accountability, being adults, kids, whatever, because this entitlement is out of control right now.
Yeah, it is.
It's
It
out
is.
of control, you know. And on that note, I'm looking at even with the claims of some people saying I'm traumatized or
Oh yeah.
mental health. You know, you
Yeah.
you 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 from our era. I'm looking at you like, yo, when you was getting your ass, what was you traumatized, or did you go out there and do the same thing over and over again? It's
Mm,
now, you look at society. Some people use it as an excuse, and the ones that really need that help can't get that help.
mm.
They can't get that help because of all of the shit going on. It's
Right.
crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy. You
I
know?
I also believe that this is everybody is spoiled. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is everybody wants to be spoiled and everybody is spoiled. And because everybody is spoiled, everybody
hmm
wants what they want. And if they don't get what they want, then they do that thing called ghosting. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They'll
Oh yeah.
ghost you, or they'll be mad at you. And like I told kids, if you are not mad at your parents at one time or another, then they're
hmm
doing something wrong. Your kids supposed to
Oh
be mad
yeah.
at you
At you
at
all the
certain
time.
time. Yeah, all the
Like
time,
maybe
most of the
3 times a
time.
day.
Right. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man.
Yeah. But that's
Yes,
the
so I got
beauty
it.
of it too.
Yes. So I got another thing for you, man. What is the one thing you struggle the most being a father?
Uh, because I have all girls, and
Right?
probably for just having a child anyway, when I'm not around. You know what I mean? So I try to consistently talk to my kid
Right?
and let her know, look, this is this. Give her the game from the male perspective of mine, or what a male's looking for in a wife, or however she's moving, or whatever she's doing, trying to teach her financially with
Hmm.
her credit. Anything, because education starts at home. We got to
Right.
stop this nonsense of sending these kids out here to be indoctrinated in school, acting like you don't know that they ain't getting the education that they really need. And it
Right,
comes from you.
exactly.
You
Mm,
know what I mean? Ain't nobody gonna tell them out there, hey, listen, save for this. You need a 401k, or you need this plan, or you need a health plan. You need to start young so you can be already established. By the time you get our age, you ain't got to work till you 60. Because you done put in
right.
that work. Now you can relax. You don't want to be
Mm,
that old guy, 50, 60 years, talking about, look, I still got to work. You know what I
exactly.
mean?
Yep.
Hey, we all want to live our best life. But the only way
Hmm.
to live your best life is to put something in a life. You know what I
Mm.
mean? So that work and sitting there and really loving these kids and not wanting them to go through the things that you go through, don't give it to them. Make them work for it. You had to
That's
work
right.
for it. You appreciate it more, don't you? When you look back,
Yep.
you appreciate everything you went through, every butt cutting, every discipline action, all the good, all the love, all the bad. It makes us who we are. That's
Mm.
character, that's integrity, that's structure, man. Don't be scared of that. Trust me, they gonna thank you. When you look at your parents at the age you are right now, don't you be like, damn, man, thank you. Thank
Yes.
you. I wish
Yes.
I could get a little bit more. Time is
Mhm.
short. Time is
Yes.
very short and it goes by fast. So I see myself trying to put a whole lot more energy than I did back when she was younger than now because hey, look, she about to leave.
Hmm.
She about to be in college next year. She gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
My baby out there, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And yes, America, she's a 4.0 average student. That's what type of father and mother she guys in her life. That education starts home.
Mm.
And she's living proof to me. You know what I mean? That work that we put in, that love, all of that. Yeah. And we
Yeah.
all should be out here bragging on our kids. You
That's
do
right.
it good and bad. Good
Mm.
and bad. Don't forget that bad. Don't
Mm.
act
That's
like it
right.
always supposed to be good out here. So if
That's
you're gonna
right.
love them and they bad, and you're gonna uplift them and they good, do both. Balance that out. Keep
Mm.
that popping. That's how I see that, man. For
That's what's
real.
up.
Love these kids, man. They need us. And
Yes.
I do want to say this to the OGs and the brothers out there. We left them hanging. When we got our
Mm.
shit together, we left them hanging. We ain't dropped the jewels like we supposed to. Some of us came home, wherever we were going through, got our feet up, and kept it pushing
Mm.
and kept focused. But hey, we ain't wrong for that. But at the same time, we have a little bit more responsibility where we should have said, hey, look, man, this is that. A lot of us ain't have the, fathers at home, world, the block, everything became our fathers. I know it did for me.
Mm.
Even with stepfathers, whatever you had going on, man. Whatever you had going on, we kind of left them hanging. And we need to take accountability as black men for that. And men in
Yes.
general, I guess. You know what I'm saying? For
Hmm.
real. For real. Now, ladies, y'all can't be too hard on us either. Because
Mm.
y'all knew better too. Y'all knew better too. So I'm just keeping it real all the way around the board. That makes sense.
Okay. Right. Okay. So let me ask you something. And this is something that's been bothering me. I remember you brought this up too. Why do why do ladies, or I should say women, or I should say mothers, why do they go to jobs and ask the employer about, hey, you have a job? I'm looking for a job for my son. And the reason why, and
Oh.
and the reason why I say this because when we was coming up, our mothers and
Uh-uh.
fathers didn't do that. We had to go out there
Nah.
on our own and find a job on our own. It wasn't no asking
Nah.
questions. We was
Mm-mm.
out there job hunting, doing what we got to do. But now it seems like more and more and more, you hear mothers
Mm-hmm.
say, "Oh, do you have a job available? My son's looking for a job." Hold up. Your son, how old is your son? Because my thing is, if he's 17, 18, 19, or 16, whatever, he's supposed to be out here looking for it for himself. If he knows how to navigate through social media, he knows how to navigate through
Mm-hmm.
contract creators and all that stuff, then he should know how to navigate to getting the job.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not from the land of,
Mm-hmm.
holding your hands across the street till you
Mm-hmm.
35. We don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Yep.
mean? So my thing is, how do you feel about that? Because to me, it kind of irks me because I'm like, yo,
Yep.
your
Yeah.
son's supposed to be doing this, or your daughter's supposed to be doing this, not
Right.
you.
Right. And that
America,
that goes
chime
back.
in. Go ahead,
Hey, and
man.
that goes back to, like I said, that education at home. When we came out, you had to go out there and actually earn it. You
Right.
want to give them everything. So therefore, the male. Let's start with the male. This is how I see it. You make them weaker. Because when mama dead and gone, what he gonna do?
Right. Right.
Baby girl, you showed her everything. So now she don't know what to do, but there's gonna be somebody out there to lead her astray.
Mm.
But that male, if he's gonna have a family and he's gonna be able to lead, he needs to have a strong mind. So he needs to know what it is to go out in the world and navigate and do things for himself so he can stand on himself. What
Mm.
they're not understanding, picking these boys up, letting them sit home, buying them Jordans, getting them that game because they gonna have a tantrum. Let his ass cry.
That's right.
Let
There
his
you
mother.
go.
You like how we did. You don't like it, there go the door. You more scared than a child is scared of you.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
To fear your parents is to have honor for God.
Right.
Nobody's scared of their parents. You know why? Because the parents are being their friends. Stop being their friends. Stop telling them I'm your only person, I'm your friend. No, I'm your mother, I'm your father.
Mm.
As long as you under my roof, my rules, my way. When you
Mm.
grow and you get out there and you get a job and can take care of yourself and you feel you can take care of yourself, salute.
Mm.
Get what you gotta get. But we making them weak, man. We making them weak. And they feel they're entitled to it. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter about your financial situation. It's what you teaching them in the culture. So
Mm.
they're looking at, well, my friend, his mom does this for him, why you ain't doing it? Or his pop does this for him, why you ain't doing it? I deserve the same thing he got. But not realizing, listen, we live a different life than our neighbors next door. You see what I'm saying? They
Mm-hmm.
may have all the bread, but we got the water.
That's right.
And the village ain't a village no more. Because you can't knock on your neighbor door, hey man, let me get this. Unless y'all real tight.
Tight. Right.
You can't go and say, hey man, your kid is this, or I'm gonna cut your kid ass. And they be like, why did you get your ass cut? Mr. Thomas cut my ass because we were jumping and throwing rocks at the window. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? And then
Mm.
come home and get your ass cut again. The village ain't caring about the kids.
Mm.
And it's kind of hard when the kids are the parents.
That's
The
so true.
kids are the parents.
Yeah.
If
A lot.
mama and daddy in the club and smoking and drinking with the child, what hope is there for the child?
Mm.
Where the child gonna get the direction from? You see what I'm saying? But it's
Exactly.
cool. But when a child comes out, you put a phone in his hand or her hand,
Mm-hmm.
and you tell him dance to the song. The child dances and learn this song, but the child goes to school, can't go 1, 2, 3, ABC.
Mm.
So you rather teach them a fake culture of being ignorant and stupid versus learning what they gonna need to get out here in the world and survive. So when they can't do what they do and they turn on you, you're gonna say, oh, something's wrong with my child. What's wrong with the child is you didn't raise the child. You let the world raise the child. You let the phone raise the child. You see what
Mm.
I'm saying? It's like, okay, how old does a child need a phone today? What would you believe the age of a child having a cell phone is right now as a father?
Probably 5 or 6. I'm thinking. You know what I mean?
Right. So with their minds being that young and non-developed, how many hours a day are they going to be on that phone? When do they need to have that phone?
Right. Exactly.
Maybe when they ain't around you, maybe in school. So when they come home, if they are told to do their homework, do they need to have that phone?
No, I don't even think. I think that's too young, to be honest, for a child to have a phone. Five
Right.
or six. That's too young. You know.
Hey man, they come out the womb with them at 1 with the light right there in front of the shop. You seen it? They in the
Hmm.
basket, they give the baby the phone
Right.
just to keep them quiet because they don't know how
Mm.
to control the baby,
Mm.
man and female. Give him the phone. He'll be quiet. We go back to what we doing.
Wow.
You
That's
see what I'm saying?
crazy. Oh yeah.
But you see it every day. How is it that you can operate the phone and you can't operate anything else or learn anything else? It's like this. The other day, I had a situation with the personnel or whatever the case may be.
Hmm.
They're not good at math, right?
Right.
So I said, if I give you 5 20s, how much is that? That's
Hmm.
$100. I say,
Right.
so if I put money in front of you, you can count all day. I put the numbers on the paper, you can't do nothing with it.
Mm.
What change? What change? It's the same thing. So if I'm looking at the numbers, I might as well pretend that they're money, right? In order for
Hmm.
me to do this math on paper. Like you say, ice
Right.
water, this is paper. This is
Hmm.
paper. You know what
Yes.
I mean? This is
Yes.
paper. You know?
Right.
Paper
Right.
to paper. This is what this
Right.
is.
Right.
So,
Right.
when you look at the mind and how people go about thinking about things, It's very, very interesting when
Mhm.
you throw something out there and they bite on that bone and they don't realize, well, you doing it already. It's just
Mm.
that you got to do it this way and you can't materialize it and see it this way. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
It's
most
it's
deaf.
kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. So with the kids, they can develop very fast because they're more curious. Children
Mm.
only want to have fun and know how far they want to go. That's all kids want to do. They don't know nothing about problems. When they wake up, they want to eat, sleep, you know what else, and have fun and see how far. Hey man, can I jump over this river without getting in trouble? Oh, they told me not to do it. I'm gonna try to do it anyway. Right?
Exactly. Yeah,
So they
exactly.
need structure. That's all kids want to. That's all they doing is trying to learn where they can go and where they can't go in life. And if you ain't gonna give them that, okay, when society gets a hold of them boys, you know what I mean, the Jakes,
Mhm.
whatever you want to
Yep.
call them, 5-0, whatever. One time, when they get a hold of them, first thing you say, oh, they wrong. They shouldn't have done that to them. No, you wrong. You led them astray. You didn't teach them how to navigate and avoid all that. So now you got more females getting popped. You got younger cats out here shooting females because they're
Mm.
emotionally immature. You see what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Where does this come from? Nobody knows. It's like you woke up last night and it's a whole new world order, right?
Right.
It's a whole new world. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
when it comes to the kids, you got to start loving the kids, man. You got if they're gonna be our future and they're gonna lead us when we're old and trying to wipe our ass or help us with our teeth or whatever it is,
Mhm.
you got to put that energy in them in order for them to remember you and have that appreciation. So when you down and you
Yes.
going back to that baby state, your kids will love you to be able to help you.
Exactly.
That's how it
Exactly.
is though. You raise them to go ahead and say, okay, there go granddaddy. There go the generational leader right there. There go
Mhm.
grandma. You want to, bro, it's not cool to die in the streets. You know what's cool? To die with your family all around you. That's the last thing you want to see. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like in the
Mhm.
old days, everybody in the house and you at home with your generations around you. That's wealth, bro. Not the
Mhm.
bread. That
Right.
knowledge that you pass down is where it's at. And without that, what you gonna do with it?
Mm.
What you gonna do with the bread if you ain't got the knowledge of knowing how to save it, double it up, keep it? All the rest of them gonna do is just spend it up.
That's true.
Feel
That's
me?
so
So
true.
you
I
got
feel
to
you.
love the kids, man. You got to
Mm.
love the kids.
So I got something for you, man. How come we don't appreciate gestures anymore? Like good gestures. Like for example,
Mm,
you know what I mean? People you hold the door for a lady, they don't say thank you anymore. Or if you see a homeboy in the street, yo, what's up, man? They act like they don't know you. You know what I'm saying? Even though they
hmm
know you, but that why we don't appreciate gestures anymore. Good gestures.
You know
What do you
why?
think that's yeah, what's up?
We don't appreciate ourselves.
Hmm. Elaborate.
You don't appreciate yourself. That energy that you're going to give off to the next person, or you want, it's like, if I respect you, you're going to respect me, right? Do unto others
Right.
as you wish them to do to you. It
Hmm.
doesn't exist anymore.
Hmm.
Everybody's selfish now.
Right.
It goes back to that entitlement. Okay, you a dude, I'm a female. You supposed to open the door. No, I'm not.
Right.
Who told
Right.
you I was
Exactly.
supposed to do this?
Yeah, these
Who,
rules, like I said.
I want to see the book that say I'm supposed to do this, that, and the third, right?
Hmm.
So when you look at it, it's all about that person. That's why I say that we don't appreciate ourselves. If you appreciate yourself enough, man, you're gonna respect the next person automatically. You
Mm.
know what I mean? And a lot of people think they love themselves, but they really don't love themselves. They spend
Mm.
more time lying to themselves than loving
Mm.
themselves.
I agree. I
They
agree.
spend more time lying to themselves of okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna be this, but there's no plan, there's no structure, there's nothing with it. If there's no substance, guy, there's nothing at all. There's no foundation, there's nothing. Nothing. So I can't even walk out here and say about 85% of people, I expect them to even say hi or have a gesture, how you doing, good evening. I'll
Mm.
get that, especially from my culture. You know,
Oh
we look at
yeah.
each other long enough. I'm gonna ask you, yo, you know me? What's
Exactly. Yeah,
popping?
exactly.
You
Exactly.
know, that's
Hmm.
how that go. You sizing me up. Why are you looking at me in my leg? What's going on?
The weird,
We're
but you
gonna
know what?
always be in that aggressive state.
But you know what? The weird thing is, I think we'll get just good gestures more from people outside of our race, more
Of
than our
course,
race. And
of
that's
course.
crazy to me. That's the craziest thing to me. Every time I think about it, I'm like, yo, where's the disconnect? You know what I mean?
Because the other cultures want to be just like us.
Mm,
Everything they do now is moving towards a what we already established and done. Just like a slang, we might come up with a slang tomorrow. They
mhm.
gonna jump on it. You
Right.
know what I mean? Our clothes, the jewelry. You see that trend shifting that way. So in order, it's just like infiltration.
Mm,
How can I infiltrate that? I gotta be nice to it. I gotta pretend like I'm his friend.
mm,
I can't get close to you or understand you if I don't speak in a formal manner of, hey, how you doing? That's a
mm,
open up so I can hit you in the back. Hey, how you doing?
mhm,
You see what I'm saying? So
mhm.
yeah, you're gonna get more gestures from them. One for you different. And when you walk by, you can feel a nervous system.
Oh yeah.
You can feel the
That's true.
nervous system jumping.
Yeah, you can. You
You know what I
can.
mean? It's like
Right.
if when you were younger and going to the car and the guy, whoop, he hit his door locks. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Damn, I'm hit my locks. I don't want nothing from you because you hit
Hmm.
your locks. Now I want something from you
Hmm.
because you already let me know you're fearful of what I'm going to do, and I'm not trying to do anything to you at all. You know what I mean? So
Mm,
that's how I look at that, man. That's
mm.
really how I look at it.
Okay, I got a good one for you, man. And I know this is a question, and I want America to chime in on this if you hear this. Okay, first date. The meaning why I say first date is that a lot of people go on first dates and they expect high expectations on a first date. And what I mean by that is I hear this for a lot of dudes who are single or whatever. Like I be hearing that, you know, the woman says that the first date has to be expensive. It has to be this, it has to be
Mm,
that. My thing is, why does it have to be expensive? If it's a date and you really digging someone, it could be
hmm
anywhere. Because back in the
Right.
days, our first dates wasn't expensive. It was something. It could be even to McDonald's or whatever. It was just, and still you got that connection. But nowadays it's all about the first date has to be like this, or I'm not going to be like that. It's like the expectations are so high on the first date. Why is the expectation so high on the first date? And just because the expectations is high does and you fulfill that doesn't mean that it's going to be what it is down the line. So how do you feel about this first date thing that it has to be like this or it has to be a certain way? How do you feel about that, man?
It's an illusion.
Mm,
It's an illusion, bro. It's an illusion. Like you said, back in the day, you could walk in the park with a chick and get at her, right? Buy ice
mhm,
cream, a cone, whatever. If you Manhattan, whatever the case may be, a hot dog, a piece of pizza, whatever the
yep,
case may be, and get in her ear and talk to her, right?
right.
This thing of how could I say I want this, that, not be, you know, kind of looking at it like if you can't do it for yourself, why you asking for it?
Mm,
If you want me to take you to a 5-star, why you ain't here every day? Me
mm,
from a man perspective, if you asking me to come out with that type of money, I want
mhm.
some buns right now after that when I got this, I gotta pay this out. This ain't no I'm 'cause listen, I don't have time to invest my bread and my time in you when I could be doing something else. You
Mm,
gonna make it if I'm making it worth your while, you gotta make it worth my while. Because now it's to a point where it's a transaction. You know
mm,
what I mean? You had an ATM machine. And some of them be fronting and getting on these dates because they can't feed themselves. You see
right.
what I'm saying? Now I'm
Yep.
gonna always respect that woman that can come and say, okay, well, you bought lunch, I'm gonna buy the drinks. You see what I'm saying? And it's not the
Yes.
fact that she does
Compromise.
it. Yeah, it's not even the fact that she does it or if she's going to do it, it's that she's willing to do it. See, what women don't
Mm,
understand is you get more out of a man if you want to meet us halfway. But when you want to fall back and act like you that, man, it's a billion you on earth. It only take 30 men to repopulate the whole world. You see
that's
what I'm
true.
saying? Look at these what they call them passport bros.
Right.
Where they go? Where they take their investment at for a
Hmm.
peace of mind? You know what I'm
DR.
saying?
Yep, DR.
You feel me?
Yep.
They go to work all year, stack their bread, and go live their best life for a month and a half and wild out for cheap,
Mm,
right?
right.
So you losing the substance of the man that's there to provide and protect for you. And then on to say, okay, well, he's not worth that. Or look at him like, hey, he's a piece of whatever, but you laid with him. You knew what he was before you laid with him. So
Mm,
why try to play him? You see what I'm saying? They already,
mm,
what you gonna call it, emotionally immature anyway.
right.
So yeah, you know they're gonna get some get back.
Mm,
Them YNs want some get back. I spent all this bread. I spent 5 stacks on you. Then you think I'm a fighting you up for the snake and you go give it to this nigga? Come on, man.
mm,
They
mm.
don't work with them boys like that. Now we can
Whew.
take the L and be like, yo, I'm gonna catch you because you gonna come back. When he get tired of you, then we're gonna do what we do. We're gonna make him hurt
Right.
a little bit. We may let him
Right.
feed it a little bit. Because what they don't understand when you do that, you're showcasing the whole outfit right there at the gate of what type of woman you are. You see
Mm.
what I'm saying? So put it like this.
Facts.
Put it like this. If you my woman and I slip and I fall and we in a ring, I need you to hit like 2 jabs so I can stand up. Then I can say, hey, baby, I got it. Go ahead. Sit back on your throne. But if you
Mm,
ain't willing to do that, what are you doing here?
mm.
You more infatuated with your body than I am.
Damn. Mm.
You more infatuated. Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
You spend ten and thousands of dollars on your body thinking you're going to keep that body because
Mm-hmm.
you're going to depreciate earlier in life. I'm going to get better. Man, we like wine. We can
Mm.
have babies up to 90, whatever the case may be. They got a time limit. Brothers, they got a time limit. They
Mm.
got a time limit. I'm talking trash.
Whew.
Yeah, they got a time limit.
Woo.
They know
Woo.
they got a time limit too. So
Right.
it's all about separating the good ones from the bad ones. And when you can see it, you know when you just want to jump off, or if you really out there looking for a good girl. Most brothers now,
Mm.
you ain't looking for nothing because of that same thing, the illusion. It's an illusion. That's what the world tells them, psychology wise, that this is what you're supposed to be getting right now. This is what it's supposed to be. You know it ain't what it's supposed to be. Your mom and daddy didn't do it. So why you acting like you know all of a sudden now you need a $5,000 coat for me to talk to you? You know what I mean? My car gotta be a damn Mercedes Benz for us to go around the corner. You know, you can't even afford Texas Roadhouse, but you talking crazy knowing you at McDonald's all week.
Mm.
Help me make
Wow.
sense of
Whew. Woo.
it. You know what I mean?
Yeesh. Woo.
Stop it. Stop it.
Yeesh.
And to the brothers too, stop fronting. If
Yep.
you ain't got
Brothers,
it, be
yes.
yourself, man. If
Mm-hmm.
she can't love you for being or don't like you for being yourself, you ain't gonna get nothing out of her no way. Just move on. She ain't even worth the chase. It ain't worth it. It's an illusion, man. It's a
Mm.
crazy illusion that's nothing more than a transaction.
Mm.
Because if I'm out with you and you like, yo, this meal $200, I'm like, yo, we going to the joint after this? No, I'm leaving you here with your check. Yo, we're gonna split that. That's hers, that's mine. Straight up.
Mm.
That might be what they would call ungentlemanlike, but hey, it is what it is. Because if I gotta pay all this, what am I getting out of this investment? Because I'm gonna start looking at it as a transaction in a deal. It don't take me this much by myself to have a couple drinks and eat and be good.
Right. Right. Right.
So I spent $300 right here. Oh, I could have bought me some shoes. I could have paid a bill.
Mm-hmm.
I could have paid about 2 or 3 bills.
Right.
For
Right.
real.
Yeah.
My money spent just like your money spent.
Mm.
So we gotta come into a compromise here, baby. Don't take it personal, ladies, but we need a better understanding of what's really going on. You know
Mm.
what I mean? Expectations are exactly what they are. Something to expectate. That's it. That's
Whew.
all they are.
Okay. I got another one for you, man. What are some of the things that you take for granted now? Because people, do you take anything for granted?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you
Mm-hmm.
mine real quick, and then I'm gonna let you chime in.
Good one, man.
I think for me, decision making is one of the things that I take for granted. Because my mind is moving at 1,000 miles a minute, And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes my decisions, I'd be like, man, you know what I mean? I could have did this, or I could have did that. You know what I mean? Or I could have did it this way. I could have did it that way. I take that for granted. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I believe another thing that I take for granted when I look on it is just certain things that I deal with in life. I
Mm-hmm.
think I take for granted. You know what I mean?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So
Me,
go ahead.
me, right now, cool water is more like, I guess, time, man.
Mm,
I wake up with gratitude every day to be able to do any and everything I need to do for me, my family, and whoever else in my circle, right?
right.
So I haven't broadened my time with, I believe, everyone that I need to broaden my time with. Why I
Mm,
got time? Does that make sense?
makes a lot of
That
sense.
because I'm steady on the grind all the time, trying to do better, get better, be better, but still have so much growth as a person, as an individual, from the father's perspective of giving myself in that time. Because I'm
Right.
not gonna lie, if you ain't on my type of time or frequency of getting it or doing whatever, and that doesn't mean just financial. That
Hmm.
that means emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, all around the board. Being
Right.
able to change whatever your situation is daily and loving that
Mm,
change. So if you're not really in tune with what that is on that stature, and I might be guilty for it, then I ain't fucking with a lot of people like that.
mm.
You see what I'm saying? So
Yes.
me deciding where I need to focus a whole lot of my time and back off of certain things in my time is probably my greatest downfall right now.
Mm. Wow.
That's how I look at that.
Okay.
Because man, time really don't exist and they don't wait on nobody.
Right.
You know what
Facts.
I mean? So
Yes.
you know, and let's say what we got a couple hours in a day. How much sleep do I need? How much am I really gonna rest, or am I gonna get this done? Or it's so much to do you want to do. You know what I mean? You're so busy doing what you need to do so you can do what you want to do. And sometimes when it gets time to do what you want to do, are you gonna procrastinate on it, or are you gonna actually do it? Or do you even have that support behind you to say, hey, go get that? You know what I
Right.
mean? Go get that. Get
Right.
up and go get
Right.
that. You said you was gonna do that. You know what I mean? Our queens do that for us. I'm not gonna front. They do that for us. And that's probably what help us, stay afloat. But yeah, that thing time, man. When I sit around, it's a very special thing. The more I sit and think and get deep with that time, man.
That's what I'm talking about. So, man, this was great, man. This was great. This was great, man. I love your answers, man. This was
I'm
dope,
trying.
man. Nah, you did well. You didn't try. You did your thing. America, this is how we get down. It's called split personality. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to another episode of Connected Dots. I'm your host, Lou Icewater, aka Duquan Hicks, with my special guest, Mr. Cortez. You know what I mean? I hope y'all enjoyed the show. Follow the logo. You see it right here, Connected Dots on the back. And yo, man, I want to say, yo, thank you for coming on the show. I appreciate you. Love you, King. Keep doing what you're doing, and we're gonna have you back again. Like I said,
No
man. So
doubt.
be prepared. You know what I mean?
All right, baby boy. Keep it good.
Any
All right.
any shout outs, any shout outs, any shout outs before we get out of here.
You know what? I want to shout out to everybody, man. Let's
Right?
just do what we need to do. For
All
real.
right.
Especially East Coast, baby. Let's get back to what we do. All
All
right.
right.
I
East
love y'all.
Coast, baby.
All right.
All right, man. One life, one love, one Lou. Peace.
All right.
Thank you, bro.
No problem, bro.
Rocking that LHJR